Welcome back. In today's video, we're going to be exploring artificial intelligence that is a smart contract in the internet computer ecosystem. We're going to be reacting to Dominic Williams, the founder and CEO of Dfinity, the company behind the Internet Computer Protocol. We're going to be exploring and reacting to his Build Asia 2024 presentation. This was recently posted on the Dfinity YouTube page, and we're going to be using it under fair use and reacting to Dominic Williams talking about artificial intelligence on the internet computer. As you guys know, I am a huge internet computer fan. I believe that this blockchain and crypto ecosystem has potentially a very large, I guess the word is potential in this upcoming cycle. And I think that the technology that internet computer already has implemented is not only groundbreaking, but it's also way ahead of many of the other ecosystems out there, with very fast transaction throughput, a huge developer base around the world, nodes connected in almost every single continent on the planet, and now well positioned for the AI boom and the AI narrative that I believe is coming up. So we're going to be exploring this, and I'm going to be reacting. And so let's listen to Dominic at this conference. And by the way, this is on 1.5 speed. So if you're already listening to my video fast, it's going to get faster. And don't forget to give this video a free thumbs up. We upload a lot of videos on this channel, talk about everything crypto, blockchain, and investing. We talk a lot about internet computers. So make sure you guys are also subscribed to the channel. That way you never miss a new video we upload every single day. Let's get into Dominic's presentation.
Hello, everyone. I'm Dominic Williams. I'm the founder and chief scientist of the Dfinity Foundation. Dfinity is the largest contributor to the Internet Computer Network. And today we're going to talk about AI that runs as a smart contract on the blockchain. So that's something very different. There's a lot of blockchains for AI, tokens for AI being created today. This is the real deal. AI that actually runs on the blockchain in fully decentralized form.
Now, one of the things that we've already seen and we presented on this channel is Dominic actually sat down and showed us a live version of AI on the internet computer. And this is the first implementation that they're actually showing us. And keep in mind, it takes a lot of processing power, a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of development resources and servers to actually get these things deployed in just a minimum viable product version, which I think Internet Computer has clearly demonstrated they have. Now, advancing that, that's the next challenge. And this is where Dfinity, I believe, comes in. And you're gonna see a lot of this from where the internet computer is. And I want you to think about other blockchains that have done similar things to research and development, developing technologies, and really kind of pushing the boundaries of what these blockchains can actually do, right? Everybody's like so focused on Ethereum and Solana. It's like, okay, but what can these blockchains do that other blockchains are better at? Or what can other blockchains do that Solana and Ethereum aren't even capable of? There would be no layer twos on Ethereum if Ethereum was capable of everything, right? Let's continue listening to Dominic.
So for those of you that don't know, Dfinity Foundation is probably the blockchain industry's largest ongoing R&D operation. We're blockchain maximalists, and we're trying to drive what we call a blockchain singularity, where all compute eventually is migrated to blockchain. We were established back in 2016, and the internet computer now represents the product of more than 1,000 person years of R&D effort. We're a Swiss not-for-profit. Headquarters is in Zurich, and we have one of the world's largest teams of famous cryptographers, and generally the team includes a lot of kind of well-known and very brilliant cryptographers, computer scientists, engineers, and that's why we have so many research papers, academic citations, and things like that to our name. And the team really is a mixture between early blockchain, early crypto people, and people from organizations like Google.
Now I'm going to pause right here for 1 second because I want you guys to see 1,600 plus research papers. 1,600. Cardano, as of the time of making this video, has slightly over 200 research papers and a fraction of the technology that's actually deployed on the internet computer. That's huge. That's a huge kind of leapfrog ahead. And this is what I always keep saying to my viewers, is that the blockchains that have started or are launched today right? Whenever you're watching this video, any blockchain that's launched that day is usually, for the most part, significantly more powerful and better than the ones that were released 3, 4, 5, 6 years ago. Because the ones that were released 6 years ago have to patch and patch and patch and keep updating. And the new ones, they just launch with all the technology that every other blockchain is trying to already solve. And this is another reason I think Internet Computer is well positioned in the 2024-2025 cycle. Let's continue listening to Dominic.
And IBM. So the big deal with the Internet Computer is that compute is now on the blockchain itself. And that's very different to what we used to in Web3. Generally speaking, in Web3, the online service is built on traditional tech, and just the tokens and little bits of DeFi logic live on the blockchain. The Internet Computer is the first third-generation blockchain, and it brings everything onto the blockchain. So it's really blockchain playing the role of cloud.
Now, I want you guys to think about this. Most implementations of technology are tapping into the other implementations of technology. And what ICP is trying to do is bring everything on chain, right? They don't necessarily need oracles if they have the data already living on chain, right? They don't need some of the things that other blockchains are doing because they need external sources to tap into, whether it's cloud compute, Amazon Web Service, Microsoft Azure, Google Cloud. Keep in mind, a lot of these staking platforms utilize these third parties to actually do the compute for their validator nodes. So the actual backend infrastructure of a lot of these major proof of stake blockchains are actually dependent on these centralized cloud server ecosystems, and Internet Computer wants to become that. They want to become the Amazon Web Service, the Google Cloud, where everything is on the Internet Computer. Everything is building on the Internet Computer. So it's not the blockchain tapping in to these compute ecosystems. The compute ecosystems are the blockchain. That's at least the way that we're analyzing it on today's video. Let's continue listening in.
So if you go to the Internet Computer dashboard, you can find it at dashboard.internetcomputer.org. You'll see that today, the Internet Computer is processing about 330,000 Ethereum equivalent transactions a second.
And you guys, we're on this site all the time. This is one of the best dashboards that are plugged into the blockchain with the most up-to-date information on Internet Computer. 330 to 356,000 Ethereum equivalent transactions per second. I mean, think about the throughput. Solana can't even process, a few thousand transactions a second without going down. Internet Computer is doing this regularly for years.
That's measured by looking at the low-level number of instructions processed by the virtual machine on the blockchain. And that staggering number, which far exceeds the compute of being performed on all of the other blockchains in the world taken together, reflects the fact that the Internet Computer blockchain is providing cloud-like services. It's the world's first third-generation blockchain. So,
and just so the ICP community knows, because we've discussed this in my videos, Internet Computer is not the only third-generation blockchain. It may be the first one, but it's not the only one, right? We're already, in 2024, we're on generation 5 blockchains. If you think about Zeta Chain, Mantle Network, these are what I would consider generation 5 blockchains. Generation 1 is Bitcoin, generation 2 is Ethereum, and Cardano and XRP. Generation 3 is the Internet Computers, the Solanas, the chain links, and things like that. Generation 4 is everything kind of that was building or deploying in the early stages of the bear market. I would say Aptos is Generation 4. And then, like I said, Generation 5 is everything that has launched in 2024. Zeta Chain, Mantle Network, Starknet, stuff like that. Let's continue listening to Dominic.
The Internet Computer supports something called canister smart contracts. It's a much more advanced evolution of traditional smart contract software. And developers can build anything with canister smart contracts. So full stack decentralization is happening today. Full stack decentralization occurs when people build things that run 100% from the blockchain. So today there are social networks running on the Internet Computer blockchain. and they're decentralized end to end. There's no traditional IT involved whatsoever. All of the data, all of the media, all of the computation, the user experience, everything lives on the blockchain. People have built order book exchanges, DEXs that look like a CeFi exchange, like Coinbase or Binance, are running fully on-chain. And the latest development is that people are using the Internet Computer Blockchain to run fully decentralized AI that runs in the form of a smart contract. And that's what we're going to talk about today.
And by the way, we are going to be getting into the AI stuff, but this is, I think, the most promising aspect of the internet computer is the AI compute. Because while all of these other blockchains are talking about what they want to do with AI and how they want to implement AI and how they're going to be the best AI platform, we have 3 of the major AI projects in crypto: SingularityNet, Ocean Protocol, and Fetch AI, saying that they're going to merge into an artificial superintelligence. Meanwhile, they don't even have like a raw product yet. Internet Computer already has AI on their chain. It's already running. It's already computing. It's there. And so while this new ASI token may promise the world, the technology is not going to be here for probably many, many years, especially when you're merging 3 different protocols and all the research and development that they have going on into one. Oh my God, logistically, Internet Computer is way, way ahead just on that fact alone. And I think many of you would agree. Don't forget to give this video a free thumbs up because we have a lot more to hear from Dominic. Let's continue listening in after you give the video a free thumbs up, and also hit subscribe if you're not already subscribe to the channel. If you want to help support the channel, you can click the join button down below to learn more about becoming a channel member for as little as $1.99 a month. Let's listen to Dominic.
Just quickly, if you're trying to understand how's this possible, how can a blockchain run AI? Well, ICP smart contracts are kind of like blockchain on steroids. They're smart contracts that are ready for anything at all. So one Internet Computer smart contract can store up to 400 gigabytes of data. Currently, it runs in 4 gigabytes of main memory that's dedicated to the contract. The memory is persistent. That limit's going to be raised in the next couple of months quite substantially as we're moving to a 64-bit model. They run WebAssembly bytecode. They support something called reverse gas, which means that the smart contracts pay for their own computation. So when a user interacts with a smart contract, they don't have to create a transaction, or at least they don't have to create a transaction that makes a payment for gas. The smart contracts pay for their own computation. These smart contracts run in parallel. For the technical people here, the Internet Computer implements something called an actor model. The smart contracts can process transactions that run over multiple blocks. So, for example, if you invoke a smart contract and it performs a long-running computation, it's not limited by the amount of computation you can do in a single block. The transaction can span multiple blocks. These smart contracts can process HTTP, which means they can serve web experiences directly to users and interact directly with users through browsers. They're fast and low cost. And when I say fast and low cost, everybody in blockchain says that their smart contracts are fast and low cost. But if you take the most efficient traditional blockchain and then you compare it to the Internet Computer, when we say fast and low cost, it's orders of magnitude more efficient. Orders of magnitude more efficient.
And again, these are like the little snippets that make me super excited about ICP. Because if you guys remember the AI video that Dominic kind of showed the power of what AI already on Internet Computer can do, go check out that video on my channel. He says in that video, ICP, guys, is the real deal. ICP is not talking about things. They're doing things. They're not talking about what they're going to have on the chain. They already have these things on chain. ICP is the real deal. And so while other blockchains can do a lot of the things that Dominic is talking about, like he says, it's orders of magnitude ahead of these other chains. And I would agree with Dominic on that, at least from an analyst and investor standpoint. That's the way that I view it, especially compared to these chains that have been promising transaction throughput for years, have been promising decentralized compute for years, and they just can't do it, right? They haven't shown, based on the data of the blockchain, that they can do it. And so sometimes you have to kind of pivot your investment thesis or strategy based on the market conditions or based on new information about these other chains that are maybe superior to the one that you've been holding. Right, I was holding a lot of assets in 2022 and 2023 for many years. And in 2024, I decided to kind of let some of these assets go, let some of these cryptos go, to rotate into other ones that are more promising. Anyway, let's continue listening to Dominic. And I hope, by the way, you guys are as excited about ICP as I am. The more I hear from Dominic, the more I see what they are doing, and I deep dive into the development of this ecosystem. It is truly incredible, especially because of how Internet Computer launched. They had this, mocked failed launch because of price manipulation in the markets. But that's for a whole nother video on a whole nother day. Let's continue listening to Dominic.
These smart contracts are multi-chain capable. There's something called chain fusion technology, powered by something called chain key cryptography. You may have heard of it, that allow Internet Computer smart contracts to maintain balances on different blockchains, invoke those smart contracts, that kind of thing. They can make calls into Web 2. You can fully automate these smart contracts with DAOs. So no decentralization theater. You can have a DAO that has complete control over something like a social network, providing an internet community with true Web3 ownership.
Did you guys hear what he said? No decentralization theater, right? And this goes back into Internet Computer is the real deal. They're not talking about it, they're doing it. It's not theater, these are facts.
And finally, these smart contracts are AI capable, and that's what we're going to talk about today. So, a few days ago, I did a demo of fully decentralized AI on X. I showed a neural network running as a smart contract performing image classification. So it can look at an image and it can tell you what's in the image. And if you take the URL of my Twitter profile, scroll down, you'll see that video. It's a world first. That's the world's first demo of quite a sophisticated AI running on the blockchain itself. So
that's the video I'm referring to.
We believe that AI will be the beating heart of Web3. And I invite you to dream a bit with me as we take a look at some potential ways that AI smart contracts can be used.
Are you guys ready?
After running through some quick examples, I'll move to a Q&A. And if you want to, you can use Vitalik's interface for submitting questions anonymously.
We don't need Vitalik's. ICP can do everything. So yeah, guys, this is where we're going to get into the examples. This is the fun stuff. This is the exciting stuff. This should make you say, this sounds really good, right? It doesn't mean that you have to go and invest in the asset. But these type of moments when you see and hear what they're working on and what they have been working on, there is no doubt that we are going to be surprised by a lot of the technological breakthroughs, I think, that we're going to see in Internet Computer over the next many years, about the chains that are going to want to connect into Internet Computer, because all these other chains, they're using these centralized ecosystems for their compute and for their data. And they want something more secure, right? So put their money where their mouth is, right? Utilize the decentralized compute machine and web cloud versus Google or Microsoft or Amazon, or at least just diversify. And I think that's something very special that Internet Computer has from a technological perspective that many of the other blockchains don't. There's no other blockchain besides ICP that is even talking about being able to compute AI at a high level, and even have other blockchains tap into ICP to compute all types of data for their blockchain, and be the oracle, and be the AI, and be the finance center of everything. I don't think any other chain has this level of ambition. Now, I'm not saying it's going to succeed, but I mean, so far, based on the development that I've seen with ICP and what you guys are about to see, seems like Internet Computer has it. Seems like that to me, at least. Let's watch and see.
All right, so example number one, Ethereum safety. How can an AI smart contract improve Ethereum safety? So this is a very, very common problem. You can get a website like Etherscan, and you can see the Solidity code behind an Ethereum smart contract. But it doesn't really help you with that question. How do I know if I should trust this smart contract? Is its Solidity code kosher? Most people aren't Solidity engineers, and most Solidity engineers don't even have time to go and audit other people's smart contracts. So you can see the Solidity code, but is it vulnerable to a reentrancy bug? Are there any backdoors that make a rug pull possible? Does it contain some malware? Might this Ethereum smart contract attack another smart contract? Might it do something malicious? So AI smart contracts on Internet Computer can solve this problem. They can scan the Ethereum blockchain. They can match the code hash of a smart contract to its Solidity software code. And they can verify there are no reentrancy vulnerabilities. They can verify there are no backdoors. And they can verify that there's no malware inside. And then they can produce a certification that can be displayed by a website like Etherscan. So when the user's looking at their Solidity source code for a smart contract, they can see that it's been certified by an AI audit, and thereby get some additional reassurance that the smart contract is safe to use.
So I want you guys to think about what Dominic is showing here as an example. This is literally what we just said. You can utilize the internet computer to go scan a smart contract on Ethereum, validate whether there are or are not vulnerabilities, audit the code from a AI perspective, a decentralized perspective, a kind of a third-party outsider perspective. Obviously, you don't want Ethereum scanning their own codes because there could be issues there, right? And then utilizing the internet computer's certification, these sites, these explorers can then go and certify, yes, this code is accurate, this code is safe, there's no issues in this code. Because what have we seen happening in Ethereum over and over and over and over? Hack after exploit after rug pull, right? And so, granted, there are a lot of projects that don't, majority don't, but there's a small percentage that do. And so being able to protect the users, you being able to say, I don't know if this code is valid or not, but I want another way to validate that. And utilizing internet computer AI, this can help that. This can be another level of security for these other chains. I mean, revolutionary. Let's continue listening in.
All right, second example, autonomous KYC. So KYC is know your customer, and it's what systems have to do that allow you to interact with things like security tokens. So a future problem is that DEXs are going to want to enable degens to trade security tokens, things like stock tokens, real-world assets, and tokenized commodities like gold. The challenge is that once you get into that field, there are a lot of regulations. And almost certainly, people, for example, that are issuing stock tokens are going to require that people buying and selling them have performed KYC. There's some kind of know your customer involved. And this is a big challenge because a DEX is meant to be decentralized, right? It's a decentralized exchange. That's what DEX stands for. And that means it should be created using smart contracts. And how on earth can a smart contract KYC somebody? How can a smart contract even interoperate with a company that performs KYC? It's a big problem. And how on earth can all these DEXs enable security tokens to be traded? Well, again, AI smart contracts provide a solution. So I mentioned that video of a demo that's on my X Twitter profile. And that was a demo of an AI smart contract performing image classification, a neural network inside a smart contract performing image classification. Well, that image classifier has been retrained and can now do face recognition. And this is a very, very cool thing because now you can have a KYC smart contract with AI inside that can, first of all, verify that somebody's a live person. It can ask somebody to, look left and right, hold 4 fingers up, that kind of thing. And then it can match that live person to an identity document like a driving license or passport. And once it's done that, it can record their identity, probably in encrypted form, and issue, for example, a Web3 credential to an authentication system like Internet Identity, which can now enable the degen to get into the DEX and trade security tokens. Nice, right?
It's pretty self-explanatory.
Third and last example. I've called this an intelligent catalyst. What I'm talking about is an AI that's a kind of Delphi for your team, startup, company, government department. Obviously, it's a large language model, so without getting into the technical details, that's our objective. We want to have large language models running on the internet computer as soon as possible, and there's a lot of work optimizing the network for that task ongoing at the moment. So here we imagine an AI, we'll call it a Delphi, that works for, say, a startup company. And this AI is connected, first of all, to the company's confidential sources of information. It's probably connected to Slack and looking at messages on Slack. It's connected to Calendar. It's connected to email. It's connected to GitHub. It's connected to Jira. And it's, ingesting all of this information. And it's also talking to the team members, right? So members of the team are, giving it information like, my team is blocked by this problem, or I've got this great idea to improve this thing. And then people are interacting with this AI and they're saying things like, hey, can I get a meeting with such and such this afternoon? How near are we to closing this deal? What's our current monthly burn? There'll be permissions, right? You probably need to be the CFO to ask, what's our current monthly burn? Maybe someone in PR can say, hey, are there any good ideas for PR? So you can probably see that it's a very powerful thing. Like, these AIs are really going to drive the efficiency and effectiveness of teams and organizations forward.
Now, effectively, what Dominic is talking about here, I think this is live in some companies already, but it's definitely maybe not to the average employee. But effectively, what a lot of these companies are starting to look at in the AI realm is taking all of the data from the company: emails, messaging, meetings, financial information, customer feedback, client needs. I mean, literally everything. And it's going to put it all together. And this will give the company kind of like almost like a godly perspective into, or at least this is what the idea behind it is. Personally, I think it's very early for companies to be using this. But effectively, it would allow like an HR department in a company to say, like, are employees happy? Like, find out if employees want more money or more vacation time. And how is the sentiment with the clients? Are clients feeling happy with the product, or are they not happy with the product? What do they want more of? What are they complaining about? What department is being contacted the most from customers? And what are the biggest employee gripes? How many people are being hired versus fired? And why are people not taking positions? Is it because of, like, they're just taking all of the data and kind of putting it together? Like Dominic said, like, hey, can I get a meeting with Dominic today? Is he available? The AI would be able to know that. And so then the company, effectively, the executives would be able to go and say to the AI, like, hey, how can we become more efficient? And then they could say, well, these departments we're seeing, they're spending too much time, I don't know, answering emails or on the phone. We need to cut that down. To cut that down, we have to do this and this and this, right? That's really where these very high level companies are going with AI integrations. Whether it's good or bad, I don't know. I mean, I think it's more risky for these companies, especially when we already know a lot of these companies have data breaches now. And imagine all of their company's data is breached. A competitor could get all of their data from the company. I mean, this is bound to happen, right? And these are some of the risks that we have to keep in mind as well. Let's listen to how Dominic thinks that this can be helped or resolved with Internet Computer.
But there is an issue here, right? What happens if this AI gets hacked? If this AI gets hacked because it's running on traditional IT infrastructure, then the hacker is going to have access to all of that organization's most confidential information. The hacker's going to get access to the feeds. It's going to see all the Slack messages, the emails, the calendar entries, the private repos from GitHub, the tickets in Jira. It's going to see everything. The hacker will see everything. So what happens if this gets hacked? It's going to be bad.
Really bad.
What if this stops? If it's running on a traditional server, what happens if it stops, if it breaks? Well, we can imagine, right? So 20 years ago, we all used to be really, really good at using a map to navigate the countryside or to navigate a city. We could look at a map, we could work out our route, we could memorize the route. But now, today in 2024, most of us have lost that skill. Why? Because we have sat-nav on our phone, right? We no longer have to use a map. We just look at our phone. And that's very convenient, saves us a lot of time and stress. Fantastic. But the same kind of thing is going to happen with AI. We're going to learn to lean on AI for so many things. And organizations that have this kind of Delphi AI that catalyzes their organization and acts as a nexus for information that glues everybody together, if that AI stops, that's going to really disrupt the functioning and operation of the company, team, whatever. And traditional IT is not secure. You can use firewalls and cybersecurity, but traditional IT isn't secure and it's not resilient. So what's the solution? Of course, the solution is to run the AI,
ICP,
which is something like a large language model, using a smart contract. And now, of course, we get past that problem. AI smart contracts are tamper-proof. They're guaranteed to run the correct code against the correct data. So they're kind of like very resistant to hacks, very secure. They're unstoppable. Blockchains guarantee that they're always going to run the code. So that's another way of saying they're highly resilient. And of course, optionally, they can be autonomous. So you can control the AI smart contract using a DAO, or if you want, make it non-updatable, right? And AI smart contracts are intelligence that's fully decentralized. And today, they're only possible on the Internet Computer.
Again, only on the Internet Computer. No other blockchain has this capability, has this technology as of yet. I think this is the end, but let's just
So I'd like you to join us if this is the kind of thing you're interested in. We have a network of things called ICP hubs. They're independent organizations, and they're springing up all over the world and increasing in number all the time. So ICP hubs are a great place to start. So here's some emails if you want to get in touch with Affinity, and that QR code will take you to the internetcomputer.org website. Go to my Twitter if you want to see that video demo. And we have, it's changed on here, but I was going to throw it open for, I think we got about 7 minutes for.
So then they're going to do some Q&A. We're not going to go through that in today's video. We can do that in a separate video. This video, I really wanted to highlight, what the message is from Dfinity, what Dominic's message is, what really the internet computer's future is, right? I mean, when we're talking, listen, a lot of this is not going to be fully developed, even this cycle, right? It's going to take many, many years, maybe even decades to get to a place where this technology is kind of like self-running. But the thing is, we're so early that this is the time that money is going to be made, that millionaires are going to be made from building new companies, building new technologies on this, building new products for customers to use. And there's nothing like it, right? There's really nothing like it. I'm talking about crypto and blockchain in general, right? There's still a lot of people going to school to become, a Salesforce engineer, or people going to school to become, an accountant. And it's like those jobs are going away because this technology resolves all of that. But that doesn't mean that jobs are going away, right? I said this during the last bear market. If you want to learn a skill that is going to help you in a very positive way in the very near future, it's learn to code, right? Learn to build on these blockchains, learn what needs to be done to do that. Because if you start doing that now in 2-3 years, you could be working for an internet computer protocol. You can be running as a developer, an engineer, independently, just basically making grants from these ecosystems, because they do have grants. Internet computer, we know they have, I think, $200 million. We just did a video on this the other day, $200 million to develop on the internet computer. They're giving out grants to people, right? Granted, you have to start out with a smaller amount and then you build out minimum viable products. And if you're building something that people want to use, believe me, Dfinity is going to be there, right? I mean, he's basically asking people, like, reach out if you want to build on the blockchain, not just on internet computer, but this is in all the ecosystems. I mean, all the ecosystems need developers and need builders. Obviously, they have a lot of great ones already, but these ecosystems are going to keep growing and growing and growing. And even if you start learning about blockchain development, then you get into the AI realm, and then maybe you go work at a company as an AI engineer or developer. I mean, this is where the future of jobs is. This is where the future of technology is, and the future of finance. And this is one of the reasons I am super bullish on Internet Computer Protocol. I think they're the best positioned for AI compute, best positioned for one of the best blockchains that are going to be I think that people just don't know that much about internet computer, but as we are seeing, that is changing on a very rapid basis. And I'm super excited for the future of ICP, of Dfinity. Dominic, hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video and discussion. Don't forget to give this video a free thumbs up. Remember, this video is being recorded and using the Dfinity upload as a fair use. So please don't copyright strike the channel. Give the video a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications, and I will see you guys tomorrow right here on the channel, Crypto On.